Welcome into the Inter Miami Auto Nation pregame show. We got a huge one for you today. Inter Miami playing host today versus New York City, who's sitting in second place in the Eastern Conference. And we got the whole breakdown of the match coming up next.
After a successful road trip, securing 4 points away from home, the boys are back. In front of La Familia in a clash against the MLS Cup champs. You bring the noise, and we'll bring the fight. The battle for the playoffs is on. See you at Drive Pin.
And welcome back into the Auto Nation pregame show. Now, I can't do this thing myself. Kaylin Kyle, Thomas Rongen, and Chris Whittingham. I called you Thomas Wrong, Chris. Anyways, I haven't worked with the guys in a while. We got there in the end. How are you, first and foremost?
One is blonde like you, and the other one's got dark hair and has glasses.
Guys, I don't
just
even
to remind you.
I don't know what continent I'm on. I don't know what time zone I'm on. Just take it, okay? I do got the two best-looking men in South Florida here. Do not tell Ray Hudson that. Obviously, he's way up there, right? So he won't be able to hear me unless he's tuning into this.
Look at my quads, by the way. My calves.
We're on television.
Yeah, have you been in self-feed? Getting a little bit. That's
no, but I mean,
you're impressed with yourself.
It's so in my face that I'm actually happy about this.
So we're overexcited at the moment because us three haven't worked together in a really long time on a pregame show because one of us is always doing something. You will be on the call on television tonight. Thomas, you're going to be on the call on radio. With Joe Melfa. But I do want to break down this game because it's a huge one. Obviously, Inter Miami playing host versus New York City FC that's sitting in second place in the Eastern Conference. And they tend to go on these little bit of a runs. They've had 2 consecutive 5-game winning streak runs. But we're playing at home, and we're Inter Miami, and our record at home is pretty good, Chris.
Yeah, 6-3-3 on the season, albeit dropped the most recent 2 results. I think the thing with New York City, if you're looking at where are the chances for Miami tonight, is they've yet to win since the departure of their star striker, Tati Castellanos, who was the MLS leading goal scorer before he made a move to Spain and to Girona. And so they haven't looked as impressive. They're not a team that is aggressive going forward from a pressing point of view. They're not as fluid. In a game in Montreal, they had 1 shot on target in the whole match. They lost last time out away at Columbus. So this isn't an NYCFC team that's in their best moment as a team, but still have an incredible number of threats in attacking positions that Miami will have to be wary of.
Now, Thomas, obviously, Chris just touched on the missing of Castellanos up top. That was just that lethal goal-scoring threat for for New York City. Can we still take them a little bit, maybe a little bit lightly, though, tonight?
For the reasons that Chris mentioned, they're not a great road team. They get the majority of their wins at home, obviously, at Yankee Stadium, which is a huge home field advantage. They lost the MVP of last year, the MVP of the finals as well. And by the way, this team won the MLS Cup last year, so they're not a slouch. But they've changed. They don't press as much anymore. And I think if you talk about informed strikers, you're just going to look at our side. And we're not talking about Capana. We're talking about Gonzalo Papita Higuain. And the reason why, in my opinion, because Alejandro Pozuelo not showing up in stats right now with assists, but the ability for him to facilitate the game, so to speak, with another good footballer, which Higuain is, shows you again when 2 good players get on the same page, they can be very dangerous. So that will continue to go forward for his team as well. And I like the midfield triangle, Mota, Gregory, and either Pozuelo or Bryce Duke.
And that's something that Thomas has talked a lot about on commentary on our radio broadcast. It's having a number of footballers on the field that create chances. If you think of the first goal against Montreal, it starts in Inter Miami's own half. Bryce Duke nutmegs a player, plays in Pozuelo, who plays in Higuain. It seems simple, but Miami have lacked that creativity over the course of the first 2 years. And now you feel like when they're behind away from home, they're behind here at Drive Pink Stadium, they have the creativity on the field to at least get you a chance to maybe win a point or win a game.
Now, Thomas, I want to jump over to you because me and Ray Hudson got into a little bit of a heated debate, I will say, on the last broadcast. We'll get into highlights later of those matches. But for me, the difference maker is service from the center of the park. We didn't have that in the first 2 seasons where Gonzalo Higuain is the most dangerous. So naturally, he dropped back into that number 10, and everyone said he's a better number 10 in Major League Soccer. Now, we bring someone in like Pozuelo. He's now playing that position that we saw him play in Europe, and probably, well, coming from Phil Neville's words, the top striker in Major League Soccer at this moment in time.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Higuaín plays in his best position right now. And one of the reasons why he used to drop back into midfield and became a de facto number 10 because of a source of frustration that they weren't able to find him in higher positions up the field, like the great footballers do. They're going to look for the ball, like Messi, for instance, at times does as well. Now he has facilitators. Now he's going to inform, and in each and every game, Mota that gets better. And Mota, by the way, is a very good passer out of deep positions, no doubt. You got Gregory that's more advanced right now, and Mota sits in, so the chemistry is better as well. You surround them, and I've heard through the grapevine with this guy here that Bryce Duke will start. Now all of a sudden you get another very good footballer on the pitch, and I will think that the continuation of chance creations out wide, but now combined with centrally, what you said, KK, is absolutely spot on.
All right, well,
for me, it's one word. It's trust. Higuaín has made runs, and you see him very often frustrated. You guys don't see what I see. There's space in behind. There's space in this channel. There's space in that channel. You guys don't find me. I think he now trusts that Pozuelo, and to a lesser extent Bryce Duke, albeit he's getting there, see him and see him making those runs and want to play him to find assists, to find goals.
And it's like the trust that you have working alongside me and Thomas, isn't it? Let's get to some of those highlights. Let's start with the San Jose highlights, because it was a fun game, a difficult set of matches, going away on the road, traveling to the west coast and then to the east coast up into Montreal. So San Jose, Thomas, walk us through this.
Yeah, I mean, a tough game to start with, because obviously we thought we should have gotten the 3 points against Cincinnati. We go down, we tie that game, and now all of a sudden we need to get results on the road. And it was very pragmatic, and it was pretty decent football. And we got in good positions against San Jose, and we're the team. And what better moment for Jean Mota to open his account for Inter Miami with that strike from distance, which, by the way, he's continued to do throughout this year. And sooner or later, again, a good footballer will find the back of the net. So that's a plus too, a threat from distance, not only against San Jose, because that's the winner, by the way. We shut down San Jose, kept to 0. Well done, Drake Callender. But that was just a pretty good second phase attack that Mota keeps a lot outside of the foot, KK. Woo.
From that kind of range, it's massive. And I think for me, beyond the fact that you get Jean Mota finally after you're taking so many of these sorts of efforts on the score sheet, for me it's also early goals on the road are so helpful, because Miami has struggled for goals this season, and so you don't want to get into 65, 70 minutes waiting for that goal to finally come. For me, the only thing that you leave on the table in this game is getting the second and the third. This bit of skill from Higuaín, for me, just signals just how in form he is and how good of shape and condition he is. Unfortunately, Matt Persano, the second-half goalkeeper on the day for San Jose, makes the save, but Higuaín staring down 3 and 4 defenders and working his way around them. He has sometimes in his Miami career struggled to find windows to shoot, and he here, with his skill, creates one for himself. Unfortunately, couldn't just find that next goal. And
he looks like a different player on the pitch as well, just the body language. And you could see Inter Miami high pressing early on in the second 45 minutes.
And this should have been a goal. I mean, Ariel Lassiter, by the way, who's been off for a while, maybe a little bit rusty, but it's got 2 spots, easy spots to pick, go straight down the middle. And that should have been 2-0. And now you go, oh, my God, we're keeping a poor San Jose alive at 1-0. Might they get one? Because we should have put this to bed before the 90th minute with 2 or 3 more, quite frankly.
And I felt bad on the broadcast because it almost got laughable towards the end of the match, because there was numerous, and when I say numerous opportunities that were missed, but that still builds confidence. Obviously, they did miss a lot of opportunities, but going to San Jose, that's the first time in franchise history that they've gone and played at San Jose to get the point on the road. Difficult place to go.
Yeah, getting a win away from home on your travels, you're outpossessed in the game, but in some ways those numbers don't reveal. We didn't show you any of the chances Emerson Rodriguez had towards the end of the game. He had 3 or 4. As you mentioned, we were also kind of a bit delirious at the end of that, because it wasn't just that Miami were going forward. It's that the game was so open. But getting a win away from home, just their second away win on the season, and then you head into a game against Montreal in which you can potentially make it a great road trip, and that they did.
And when you look at that Montreal game, a lot of people critical of it. But then I took to social media and I was like, you can't be critical of this match. Whoever designed the schedule for Major League Soccer, this was a bubble in it. Going to San Jose after playing on the weekend before, so you have 2 days, you go to San Jose midweek, very difficult. It's not a 2-hour flight, no rest, no recovery, and then having to travel all the way to Montreal. The legs were heavy in that match.
Without ever stopping home either.
Yeah.
You're going straight from San Jose to Montreal. The legs are heavy, and you don't even get the let off of kind of cooler, nicer conditions in Canada, right? Normally, if you're going there in the middle of the summer, it's like, oh, you're going to Canada. It would be like 78 degrees. There was like a heat warning in Montreal. It was so unlucky on Inter Miami on the day. And so actually, the good news for Miami was that it sort of led to both teams being tired by the end, because Montreal also played a midweek on the road in Columbus. And so you get into the last 20 minutes, Miami are down 2-1, and they get, oh, maybe Miami don't have the legs. But Montreal didn't have them either, and that's how they were able to get the equalizer. There was the opening goal from Romel Kyoto as you look at the highlights here. Oh. And here, again, those passing opportunities. Perfect slid ball in behind. Pozuelo into Higuain, and one-on-one in the keeper. You just trust him to finish.
Higuain has made a living of those runs throughout his career. He's got now a player, or maybe two players, that will be able to find him in those brilliant diagonal runs.
And then good service inside the box. But you looked at Inter Miami. I thought the defensive work, for having heavy legs, heavy mind, they were pretty good on the day.
And that's what it's all about, KK. You've played in this league. I've played in a league.
I've not played in Major League Soccer.
No.
You played in this country.
But, you know, the NWSL, we're talking about big distances as well. It's not necessarily the game. It's the airports. It's sitting on a plane for 5 hours, not being able to stretch your... It's by the way, immigration in Canada that at times is not the greatest. So you're going to stand in line again. So this is tough. And this is a gut-out performance by this team right here. Digging deep, KK, to get a result. And a result against Montreal on the road, by the way, who's a very good team in the East, is absolutely stellar. And 4 points against San Jose and Montreal. I think Phil Neville would have signed off on that before this. By the way, we've not lost against the West. We played 5 games against the West, beat Minnesota, beat Seattle, beat San Jose, baby. We should be in the West. If we're in the West, we're in second. We're in second place.
But here's the equalizing goal. Rodriguez, who has had so many chances, first time save, second time blocked, but having the resolve to go for the third strike and go and finish it. This is the moment where the game sort of reached a bit of a chaotic period, and Emerson Rodriguez does sort of thrive in those moments, and he gets the equalizer, and so huge for him after missing those chances in midweek in San Jose.
Do you think this helps with the push to get into the playoffs? Because we know Inter Miami has made the name for themselves, making Drive Pink Stadium a very difficult place to come play. The last 5 games, they've recorded 2 wins and a draw, obviously those 2 losses, but now we're getting the results on the road with only, I think, 10 or 11?
10 games left to play.
10 games left to play. 3 points separating. We're tied on 30 points with Cincy and Orlando to try to, if we win tonight, potentially, if all the results go to our way, we could go to 5th spot.
4 teams tied for 7th with 30 points, and the number 50, I think, is Orlando. We're only 2 points behind. You're right. We could jump into 3rd. Now we need everything going our way, and I don't think that's what you want to do, KK, depending and going into the final few weeks, having to hope that our teams lose. You get your own destiny, get your home wins, get some points on the road, and you should be okay.
And then I was speaking to, actually, you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save
it.
I'm going to tease us out of here. I'm going to tease us out of here. I'm going to tease us. Because I want you guys all to come back. I got to talk to Phil Neville and Robbie Taylor before this one. And Phil had some very interesting thoughts on Mr. Gonzalo Higuain. Club, obviously, in the East. They do have a few injuries. What are you guys looking at to exploit them tonight?
Well, first thing is our home form. You know, our home form has been so good, so we want to keep this home form going. We know we're playing the best team in the conferences last year. We know it's going to be really difficult. They've got some outstanding forward players. We're going to have to defend well, but I just want us to play with the freedom that we played with last week in San Jose and against Montreal.
Talk to me about Gonzalo Higuain. I mean, he's absolutely flying the last few matches, struggled the first 2 seasons here. What have you done differently with him?
Well, yeah, I think he's the best player in the league at this moment in time in terms of overall performances. He's world class. I think he's found something inside him almost in the final stretch of the season to inspire. Campana getting injured obviously has given him a massive lift in terms of he knows he's going to be started. He's got the confidence. The goals are always the ones with centre forwards that, you know, you score 1, you get 2, and he's just on a roll at the moment. And you know, I think he'll score tonight. He's been incredible in training all week. Now, last week, difficult games, 2 away matches. You go from San Jose to Montreal, and you get 4 points out of a potential 6. What's the buzz like in and around the team? Yeah, the buzz is really good. You know, we had 7 days on the road. Team spirit was really good. This week's been about recovery, really, because of the distances that we've been travelling. But everyone loves playing at Drive Pink. We've got our supporters behind the goal today, and we need to go for it.
Perfect. Best of luck tonight. Well, I clearly need to work on my teasing to come back after break. I'm going to send us to break now because we got another player interview coming up right after this.
We're all button pushers, double tappers, swipers, and now used car buyers. Go to AutoNation.com today. You'll see thousands of one-price pre-owned vehicles online right now. All your favorite makes and models, all quality inspected, all priced to sell with no hassles. Plus, we'll even pay top dollar for your car. Go to the AutoNation store near you or AutoNation.com. What drives you drives us. AutoNation.
¿Qué te pareció el partido?
Bueno, por suerte metimos al captain a tiempo y se llevó muy bien con la piña. Es un dúo que nos gustó mucho y va a ser historia en esta casa. Si quieres vivir un partido épico, mete al captain.
Gracias.
I need to try it first.
Stir things up with Espolón Tequila, the official tequila sponsor of Inter Miami CF. Made with hand-harvested 100% Blue Weber agave from Los Altos de Jalisco, Mexico. Grab an Espolón cocktail at a stadium bar today.
Alflex has served this community for more than 40 years. We guarantee 100% termite eradication or your money back.
Call Alflex.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
Demesman & Dover Law Firm is about community for me.
For us, South Florida is our home.
You all are our people, our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters.
Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us anytime at 866-954-MORE. Demesman & Dover, your accidentattorneys.com.
Welcome back into the AutoNation pregame show. I clearly need one of those coffees because I am not on today. Galen, Kyle, Thomas Rungan, and Chris Whittingham. Guys, I got it right for once. I didn't call you Thomas. I didn't call you Chris. Interesting to hear what Phil Neville said. And Thomas, I want to start with you as a former player and as a former manager in this league. His comments about Gonzalo Higuain being the most informed striker at the moment in Major League Soccer.
I used to say that about every player on my team because there's a psychology involved, and somehow he's able to reach out to Higuain this year and made him a better player. He's trimmed down. He looks fit. He's emotionally way more in tune right now because we got some pieces that we added that really helped his game. 8 goals. Maybe he's the most informed right now. He's got, 6 in his last 7, I think?
Yep.
But there's a few other number 9s in this league that have done quite well, but I totally understand that Phil Neville is giving him another plug and saying, I believe in you. You are the best, and that's where players feed off, quite frankly, if their managers clearly think that they are the best.
Football
which
friends.
Whittingham is.
Yeah, arm around the shoulder. Yeah, I think for me, the only player that I think you could probably make an argument for is Cucho Hernandez of Columbus Crew, who's been tremendous since they added him from Watford. But Higuain is right up there. And the combination with Duke, with Pozuelo, you just feel so confident that Inter Miami are going to create chances to score goals. And that's not something that we've really seen very much. If you look at the last 9 home games for Inter Miami, they scored 21 times. And it's just never been a feeling that you've had where I feel like tonight they step on that pitch, they're scoring at least 1 and probably 2 against a very good defensive NYCFC team. They've kept 12 clean sheets this season. I still think Miami are going to go get goals. That's how you feel confident in Higuain and Pozuelo at the moment.
I think it's really exciting, too. Obviously, us 3 have been here since day 1. When have we ever said we have 2 goal-scoring threats on Inter Miami? Right. Obviously, Campana out due to injury, but Gonzalo Higuain finding his form. I also stood up with one of our players, Robert Taylor, ahead of this match. Let's have a listen.
All right, big match tonight going up against second-place team in the East. What's the vibe like? Obviously, you had a little bit of downtime after 3 really hard games back-to-back-to-back.
Yeah, very, very excited to be back at home. We know it's going to be a tough game since New York City are a really good team, so we'll take the momentum we had and bring it out tonight.
What's been the biggest change within the club? Obviously, Gonzalo Higuain getting on the score sheet. You have Pozuelo coming into the team, that little playmaker. Has that been the biggest adjustment of someone like Pozuelo coming into this side?
Oh yeah, Pozuelo's a great player. You can see he can create a lot for us, and overall, I think it just adds competition to the squad, and everyone just wants to show even more that they deserve to play.
No Castellanos on the side, injuries in the back line for New York City. Where can you take advantage of them tonight?
So we've been looking at them on the videos, and it's not too long since we last played them, so we'll just have to try and keep them away from our end and try and get the goal in their end.
Perfect. Well, best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right. First and foremost, great interview. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
But the shirt. You saw Bryce Duke in the background. The new shirts that they were rocking, what are we thinking of and what are we making of them?
They look sensational.
I would love to rock one of those myself, quite frankly, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
you know.
I actually, when I saw the players walk out into the field, I
cool.
went on to the Fnatic store online and be like, are they selling this? Can I go and buy this? But they're not yet, so we'll have to pull some strings, see if we can get one in our possession by the end of the day.
Okay, well, when we know where we can buy those, we will let all of you viewers know, because if we can't get our hands on them, we're not telling you where you can get your hands on them just quite yet until we do. Difficult game. Obviously, the rain has passed. No rain delay. I think it was on the weather delay going and going and going. Thomas, for you? You look at this New York City FC side. Where can we exploit them? Where can we really go at them here at home tonight?
We've talked now about the Axis doing so well. We need to get more out of wide play. And you just talked about Robert Taylor. Yes, he's got 3 goals. 0 assists from a wide position. And that's the most demanding position for Phil Neville. Because when they defend, they play out of a 4-5-1. And when they go forward, they got to be wingers as well. But right now, we need to get more of those wide players, be it Lassiter, be it Taylor. Yes, we've improved centrally dramatically. But if we can have a variety of attack on the left, right, and centrally, it becomes even harder for us to do that. So the wide players need to stretch that back 4 as much as possible, which gives them the opportunity for central players to operate in bigger spaces and get more chance opportunities, but they need to provide some service from out wide as well.
Now, it was a very different story the last 2 seasons, because that's where the only service was coming from those wide areas. So do you think maybe just the inconsistency of starts in those wide areas as opposed to what we saw in years before, where those were those regular out-and-out wide starters, because they were some of our best on our team?
We started with Robinson and Taylor. I think he got injured. Then Lassiter became one as well. We brought Vasilev in a little bit late, so he's trying to get up and running. And we haven't found really anybody that you say every day and every game he's going to get end line and get 4 or 5 crosses in a half, and we'll get 8 crosses, quality crosses in, where you're not going to score all of them. That has not happened enough, I think, for wide areas. Yedlin is maybe the most dangerous players in his penetration and eventually his crosses.
And that's what I'm kind of fascinated by when you look at the lineup for tonight for Inter Miami. You have Bryce Duke lining up theoretically off the right, but we know he likes to operate in more midfield areas. So you're basically saying that right wing is entirely DeAndre Yedlin, so he'll get into that good position. And then, to your point, Yar, Robert Taylor coming inside off the left, and Kieran Gibbs also overlapping. He'll start tonight at left back for Inter Miami. You want to see the two of them combine for some decent service from wide areas, combine as well with the central players. They have a huge role to play tonight.
A huge role, but you're adding, you talk about Kieran Gibbs, you talk about Bryce Duke, and KK knows that. You add two more good footballers.
Yeah.
Kieran Gibbs is a good footballer. Kieran Gibbs is a great passer from deep. Bryce Duke can nutmeg somebody and play you in as well. So now Pozuelo's got another guy he can play with, and Higuain can as well. And I think that will help maybe our wide play just a little bit more, not only from deep with Gibbs and Yedlin, but whoever. We only play with one winger, right, quite frankly, because Bryce Duke is the other one. And he and Pozuelo might actually exchange a little bit, you know, and let Pozuelo move out to the left side where he likes to operate at times.
This is a better shot of those
cool.
shirts on those players. They're absolutely outstanding. I would love to get my hands on one.
Yes.
But I want to send us to a quick commercial break because when we come back, I want to talk about formations because Phil has changed formations in the last 3 matches, I think every 25 minutes. And I want to pick your brains with it, both Chris and Thomas. So stay tuned.
Truly great career, you need to be with a great company. Now's your chance to go be great at AutoNation. Go to jobs.autonation.com for endless career opportunities. Work at America's largest and most admired automotive retailer that's driving towards $35 million donated to fight cancer. For industry-leading benefits and a great work experience, visit jobs.autonation.com now and go be great.
Over the last 75 years, City National Bank has always been there for our neighbors. Like this year, when we saved over 300,000 jobs like Michelle's. And because she's at work, her food distributor is on the job too. And so is the woman that does his website. And the accountant that keeps her books as well. Because when you thrive, we all thrive. City National Bank, 75 years of tradition, a future of promise.
¿Qué te pareció el partido?
Bueno, por suerte metimos al captain a tiempo y se llevó muy bien con la piña. Es un dúo que nos gustó mucho y va a ser historia en esta casa. Si quieres vivir un partido épico, mete al captain.
Gracias.
New fan loyalty platform. Coming soon. Become a VIP. Win big prizes. Grand prizes. Tickets. Team gear. Travel. Experiences. Gadgets. A new way to compete. Win. Earn. Connect. Official loyalty and gamification partner. Inter Miami. X Mana. xmana.com.
Everyone is celebrating this goal. Wendy's Goal Deal! Now enjoy a delicious double stack plus small fries, small Coca-Cola, 4-piece nugs, and a Junior Frosty for only $6. Celebrate Wendy's epic goal!
We changed our fries to make them hot and crispy every single time.
High five.
And every single time, Toby insists we high five.
High five? High five. High five! It'll catch on, right?
Try Wendy's hot and crispy fries. Preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's.
Welcome back into the AutoNation pregame show. Inter Miami playing host tonight against New York City FC, the second place in the East. A huge 3 points on the line for our very own Inter Miami side. Obviously, you can see the players taking the pitch, warming up. It rained this afternoon, so it's perfect playing conditions. It's not super hot and muggy in South Florida, but these players did have the week for a little bit of rest, a little bit of recovery. Some people that didn't have the rest and recovery, we have on set with us right now. Obviously, Joe Malfa, you are joining us, but also
and it's not
Morales.
Joe Malfa, by the way.
I'm not the special guest. That's the special guest.
Again, thank you for joining us. I think we bring you on every other week because we love having you on here. You didn't get the rest and recovery. You were up in Minnesota. I didn't get to see you there. I saw you on the pitch. I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but how was that, and how was the MLS All-Star break for you?
Yeah, no, first, I love to be here. That is the reason I come any other week, every other week. But no,
we paid him to say that.
Yeah, that was great. Great experience. Especially for the kids. What MLS Next is doing with those kids is impressive. Like how the league is improving with the youth. I'm really happy to be part of that event. I think that was really cool.
Well, you look at Inter Miami Academy and just how many players have seen first game or first team experience, and then one of our very own players scoring in that match. What was it like for you, almost seeing that prodigy and all the hard work that you guys have done here in South Florida really flourish up in Minnesota?
Yeah, we have a lot of talent here. To be honest, like we have. In South Florida, a lot of diversity and really good players. And when you see them, like succeed, scoring goals, playing with the first team, second team, like I feel happy, happy for them because how they develop, how they grow, and be part of the pro environment, I think it's really cool.
I just want to touch on the vertical integration within this organization in terms of coaching. You talk about Phil Neville, you talk about Jason Kreis, who by the way, coached Javi when they won some championships, obviously, in Real Salt Lake. This is a guy that played in the MLS All-Star game as well. So you bring people like that to coach your younger players with that kind of experience and playing background. And by the way, he was a pretty decent player. It's absolutely brilliant. What they've done with Higuain as well, making him part of the staff. And I think that's the success, top to bottom, from our youngest team to our first team. We get excellent coaches and a very good academy director. And that's when talent will emerge eventually. And that's what's happening, I think, Javi.
Yeah, I think, everyone here is trying to help. Like we are a young club, only 3 years. Together, but we have to believe in the process, like everyone is working hard, everyone is trying to stick together, to try to help those young kids to make the pro debuts sometimes.
How do you manage those players? Because someone like myself, I had idols that I looked up to, and I'm sure a lot of these kids looked up to you in the league, and now you being their coach, you touched on it, Higuain now in the coaching staff. There's a lot of ex-professionals. How do you kind of deal with that, especially having an owner like David Beckham with these kids?
No, I think it's good. I enjoy it a lot. To coach kids. Like that helped me a lot also with my development. But the kids in the beginning, maybe the first week or so, they look at you like that. But after that, and you're a normal person, so it's nothing to do about that.
Now I was doing the game Rochester against Toronto last night, I guess it was. I'm losing track of days. And as I was doing that game, I was looking at the table, and Inter Miami is right there. So it brings me to the question, you're right there by the playoff line, just like this team is right by the playoff line in MLS. And I'm curious at the level of MLS Next Pro, the balance between developing these guys, but also still wanting to make the playoffs and win. How do you tiptoe that line?
Yeah, we know that develop is important, but we don't have to forget about winning, because winning is part of develop. Like, I don't know, if you take your kid to a developed environment and they lose every single game, there's no develop. So then also we have to teach the players how to think, how to think about the game, because winning is part of the growth.
Very interesting when he says that. I ended up at DC United in '99 after they won 2 consecutive
Jesus, you're aging yourself, Thomas.
MLS Cups and went to a final. And winning was part of their DNA. When they stepped on the field, they said, we're going to win this game. And that's very important. It's not the only goal, but it's a very important goal. When you can get that in your DNA and have players committed to win each and every game with the tactical ability, that's important because that's a mindset.
Yeah, like you have already, like I said, the academy has 3 years, and we already have a national championship. The U15, it's something that that we need to implement with the kids. You know, develop is good, but also we need to win. You know, that is going to be important. It's pro environment.
How do you manage, because I know what it was like when we played. You wanted to be with the first team. Your mindset was, I'm better than that player, especially maybe when they go on a 2-game losing streak. How do you manage the mindset of your players that you have, that you're not bigger than the club and you need to work in order to get into this first team?
Yeah, we have our core values. You know, one of our core values is team first. You know, like this is a sport that we have to play as a team, and no one is more important than the team. You know, like everything we can do. You know, like to have the 17th win, to have the MLS2 win. Also, you know, if they can, you know, train with the first team and try to help them to win. You know, it's going to be important. It's not about individual. It's about the club.
How important was this to have MLS Next part of the MLS All-Star kind of break and to be around some of the best, the Chicharritos? I mean, it was pretty incredible to be at that, but then to have those players be able to attend it and kind of be in and around the buzz, the media buzz as well, playing on this stadium. They had loads of fans in the crowd. What were the players like with that?
No, they were super happy. You know, you can see that on their face. You know, like when they get into the locker room, you know, with their names over there. You know, the shirts is hanging there. You know, that was unbelievable. You know, like the kids were super happy, and I hope it helped them. You know, like to keep working to when they play for the MLS All-Star game.
Well, Javi, thank you so much. We're honestly so delighted that you came on the show, but more delighted that you're part of this ownership and part of making these players push these first teams for those positions. So we're glad to have you back here, but we were happy to see you in Minnesota as well.
No, thank you very much, and I see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, perfect, done. We'll send you your check later on. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we got a player from the MLS Next team joining us.
We're all button pushers. Double tappers, swipers, and now used car buyers. Go to AutoNation.com today. You'll see thousands of one-price pre-owned vehicles online right now. All your favorite makes and models, all quality inspected, all priced to sell with no hassles. Plus, we'll even pay top dollar for your car. Go to the AutoNation store near you or AutoNation.com. What drives you drives us. AutoNation.
¿Qué te pareció el partido?
Bueno, por suerte metimos al captain a tiempo y se llevó muy bien con la piña. Es un dúo que nos gustó mucho y va a ser historia en esta casa. Si quieres vivir un partido épico, mete al captain.
Gracias.
I need to try it first.
Stir things up with Espolón Tequila, the official tequila sponsor of Inter Miami CF. Made with hand-harvested 100% Blue Weber agave from Los Altos de Jalisco, Mexico. Grab an Espolón cocktail at a stadium bar today.
Has served this community for more than 40 years. We guarantee 100% termite eradication or your money back.
Call Aflex.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
Demesman & Dover Law Firm is about community for me.
For us, South Florida is our home.
You all are our people, our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters.
Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us anytime at 866-954-MORE. Demesman & Dover, your accident attorneys
I don't know who's done that coffee commercial. Yes, I do. It's the best people in the league right here in our very own backyard. So thank you guys for being part of our team. Inter Miami again taking on New York City FC here at home. Inter Miami, a huge 3 points on the line, could push us into that playoff spot, obviously going up against a very good New York side. We kicked Javi off. We kicked your coach off. Benjamin Cremaschi, thank you so much for joining us. Now, obviously, your schedule's been crazy here with the MLS All-Star, but also you're filling your trophy cabinet. But you were selected to go to the MLS Next All-Star game up in Minnesota. What was that like for you?
You know, it was really fun. It was just a great experience. Being going with my two of my teammates and my coach. And honestly, just making friends, just good experience. The whole setup was really nice, so it was something I really enjoyed doing.
How competitive was that game? You know, we saw obviously Liga MX against MLS in the last 2 years. Those were real games. And by the way, MLS won both of them, Mexico. So, yes, here we go. How much was West versus East? I mean, I coached in MLS. I coached in 3 All-Star games. It was East versus West, which you did at your age group. So now you're competing against LAFC and San Jose, et cetera, et cetera. Am I correct?
Yeah, it was.
And what is that vibe?
It was pretty competitive. You know, it was mostly to have fun. You know, everyone was having fun, trying to do their best, trying to show off.
But you want to win. You want to win.
But we went to win. We went to win, and we did win.
And you scored as well.
Yeah, I scored.
What was that like for you?
It was fun. It was exciting. You know, the play that we drew up was just exciting, a bit crazy, but it was fun.
So who drew that up? Was it? I want to take a look at it again because it was. I haven't seen this in years and years and years. So walk us through this. It was a touch, and then a finish, a class finish, by the way. Was this the players or was the coaching staff?
No, this was all us. It was the players. We were training the day before the game, and we were doing penalties, and me and this kid from Toronto. He kind of had the idea. He's like, yo, let's try it. And I was like, okay. And we did it, and it worked out. So we scored 1 and missed 2. So Javi was like, I don't know if you guys should do it, but...
Hey, when you got a Canadian on board, though, you got to stick with us. Always trust the Canadians to come up with something clever.
Although it was a bit dodgy pass for the Canadian.
We never have dodgy passes. What was your favorite part? Obviously, you scored the goal, come up with this game plan, you win the thing. But other than that, you're around some of the best players in Major League Soccer that have played at the highest level in and around Europe at big clubs.
Yeah, it was really exciting. Also seeing Yedlin there, seeing him there, it was really fun. You know, just Inter Miami players just getting together at an All-Star event. I think is really cool, and it's a big achievement for the club and for the players too.
And a sign of things to come. Not the first. Well, sorry, one of the first, but it won't be the last that you have this kind of Inter Miami involvement at the All-Star Weekend.
No, and thank you again for joining us. I know you want to be out there enjoying the match. The fans are starting to fill in. The players are just finishing up their warm-ups. This was always my favorite, the shots at the end, because I never scored in a match, so I was like, leave it to the pregame warm-up. So, again, Benjamin, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck moving forward, and we can't wait to see you with our first team. We'll be right back after the break. Want to walk through some starting 11s for both sides.
To have a truly great career, you need to be with a great company. Now's your chance to go be great at AutoNation. Go to jobs.autonation.com for endless career opportunities. Work at America's largest and most admired automotive retailer that's driving towards $35 million donated to fight cancer. For industry-leading benefits and a great work experience, visit jobs.autonation.com now and go be great.
Over the last 75 years, City National Bank has always been there for our neighbors. Like this year, when we saved over 300,000 jobs like Michelle's. And because she's at work, her food distributor is on the job too. And so is the woman that does his website. And the accountant that keeps her books as well. Because when you thrive, we all thrive. City National Bank. 75 years of tradition. A future of promise.
¿Qué te pareció el partido?
Bueno, por suerte metimos al captain a tiempo y se llevó muy bien con la piña. Es un dúo que nos gustó mucho y va a ser historia en esta casa. Si quieres vivir un partido épico, mete al captain.
Gracias.
New fan loyalty platform. Coming soon. Become a VIP. Win big prizes. Grand prizes. Tickets. Team gear. Travel. Experiences. Gadgets. A new way to compete. Win. Earn. Connect. Official loyalty and gamification partner. Inter Miami. X Mana. xmana.com.
Everyone is celebrating this goal. Wendy's Goal Deal! Now enjoy a delicious double stack plus small fries, small Coca-Cola, 4-piece nugs, and a Junior Frosty for only $6. Celebrate Wendy's epic goal!
We changed our fries to make them hot and crispy every single time.
High five.
And every single time, Toby insists we high five.
High five. High five. High five. It'll catch on, right?
Try Wendy's hot and crispy fries, preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's.
Welcome back into the AutoNation pregame show. Inter Miami playing host versus New York City FC. The scene is being set. The clouds are staying away. They're here to our right, which I'm absolutely delighted about because no one likes a weather delay. But you know what we do?
Put a little bit of rain.
Don't jinx it.
Wait, you know what we do like?
What?
We love good fans for Inter Miami.
Yeah,
and we love
baby.
9-year-old fans for Inter Miami. What's your name?
Mika.
Mika. Who is your, other than Thomas Rongen, who is your favorite soccer player in the world? You can say me, that's fine.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Say who you always say, my man.
Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, Benzema.
He's a messy guy.
Yeah. I feel like you're very Messi-esque.
Yes, he
I feel
is.
like you're very good with the ball at your feet.
I used to work for Berlitz, by the way. So let me ask 2 questions in Dutch.
This is a Thomas resume, by the way.
Dutch.
Okay, go on.
Wie zijn jouw beste spelers voor Inter Miami? Geef me 2 namen, alsjeblieft.
Nick Marsman.
Nick Marsman.
Ooh.
I understood that.
Jan Yedlin.
And Yedlin. All right.
Those are his 2 favorite players for Inter Miami.
I asked him, what are your favorite players for Inter Miami? And he just said.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the AutoNation pregame show. I do want to go over the starting 11s.
Yep.
Do you want to stay here and go over the starting 11s with us?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with Inter Miami because Bryce Duke getting the start in there. Obviously, he'd been left off a little bit with new players coming in. You have Pozuelo that looked a little bit like he had heavy legs up in Montreal, but he's had the week for rest and recovery. And then we have flying. And I mean flying. Can you guys hear this? I don't know if it's coming through the stream. But our fans are doing the ritual pregame walk and drums coming in. The fans are starting to. Oh, this is like my favorite. What are we doing up here? We need to be down there in the mix.
Correct.
Okay, back to Inter Miami starting 11. Gonzalo Higuain leading the line, Thomas.
Yeah, I like this 11, quite frankly. And if I look at this roster right now and maybe take Campana out of it with an injury, I think this is your best 11. You got your best left fullback in Gibbs. Let's be real honest. Yedlin on the right. You got your best center Perry. And by the way, McVay's a center back, not a left back. So I like that as well. Mota, Gregory, Pozuelo. We've seen that triangle really emerge. And I kind of like the wrinkle with Bryce Duke. Not a good footballer, not a winger that will come inside and allow Yedlin just to take off like he always does. So very interesting lineup But the key still for me is the axis with Pozuelo and Higuain, who've been so good to Kale and Kyle.
Well, and this is the one thing that we've been lacking in Inter Miami, the spine of the team. You always look at some of the most successful clubs in Major League Soccer, and
Absolutely.
it's that spine of the team, a good center back, a good center mid, and someone that is going to put the ball into the back of the net.
Yep.
But something we haven't really touched on is the deep bench. Let's just put it that way. A good bench finally for Inter Miami.
So last October, Inter Miami faced this NYCFC team. You're just vibing to the drums back there.
Sorry, I'm vibing.
But they played last October. If you go back and you look at the 11 and the bench from last October to this game now, night and day. To your point about actually having a bench, there are multiple players on this bench that would have been clear-cut starters on the team that played NYCFC last October. It's drastic now. And one point about the 11, you mentioned Yedlin running up and down the right side. I'm curious to see how he does. Coming back from Minnesota, I hope his legs are fresh because he's going to have to cover a lot of ground tonight.
Well, one thing in Minnesota I will say, my father-in-law was the coach, and coaches could say, we want them to play 30 minutes, 45. DeAndre Yedlin was like, I want to go 45 minutes. He looked pretty good. I will give him that. I did have a few margaritas on hand, so by the end of that match when he was in, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I did have margaritas. That I'm not kidding about. But he did look good. And he's one of those players, though, Thomas, that's always up for a match. He's got that fighting personality both on and off the pitch. I think Inter Miami was lacking as well.
You've played with players, and I know your career. Myself, I was up for games too. It didn't matter if it was 3 a week or 4. I was always there. And there was always 6 or 7 teammates that you could rely on. And Yedlin is one of those guys. McVay is another guy, by the way, I put my trust in as well. So, yes, Yedlin will do a good job over 90 minutes, no doubt.
I know I said you guys were the best-looking men in South Florida. You take the cake, pal. You can have their job any day of the week. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the AutoNation pregame show. Inter Miami kickoff just around the corner, playing second place in the East, New York City FC. We will see you on the call. Thomas Rongen, you will be on radio with Joe Melfa and Chris Whittingham. Ray Hudson and myself will be on TV. Catch you guys in a bit.